Hello everyone, welcome to YK Reviews, welcome to the retrospective reviews of all the MonsterVerse movies as we're now kicking things off with Godzilla, King of the Monsters, so let's get into it. So if you are new to the channel, we're doing a whole bunch of retrospective reviews. We've just done all the Ghostbusters ones, so you can go check that out somewhere around here. I've done the Godzilla 2014 along with the Kong Skull Island movie as we're building up towards Godzilla x Kong, the next installment in the MonsterVerse franchise. So if you do like that type of video, do consider hitting that subscribe button, smashing that like button, hitting that notification bell, sharing the video, just all of that YouTube stuff. Would appreciate all of that support. As once the movie comes out, we're going to be doing a tier ranking video for all the MonsterVerse movies, so keep an eye out on that one. With this one, I'll be completely honest with you, I remember watching this movie and it being not the greatest movie, definitely considering it the weakest of the franchise. And after rewatching it, I've got to be honest with you, I don't know if this is considered a hot take or not, but I genuinely had a fun time with this movie. It had a lot of monsters, titans fighting, battling with one another, which is what I want from a MonsterVerse movie, and this one had it all. Granted, the human characters just weren't as interesting as they could have been, other than a few which I'll single out during the video. But yeah, after watching this one, from what I remember, it wasn't the greatest, but rewatching it, it doesn't seem as bad as a lot of people say it is. So yeah, I guess I don't know if that's a hot take or not. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you've seen the movie recently, or if you've seen it and remember what happens, do you enjoy this movie? Do you despise it? Are you not a fan of it? Please let me know in the comment section down below, because with this movie, Godzilla King of the Monsters, a sequel to the Godzilla movie in 2014, so you're seeing the aftermath of San Francisco, the devastation that was left by Godzilla. You're getting to know this family, which is the main family we're going to be following. They're looking for their son, who most likely has been lost in the rubble with the destruction here, and we got confirmation, like there's news outlets confirming everything, exposing Monarch, all that kind of stuff, and confirmation that Godzilla has not been seen since 2014, so 5 years has now passed since the last sighting of Godzilla. And so we cut to present day. We're getting introduced to the mum and the daughter. So you've got Millie Bobby Brown being played by Maddie, you've then got her mother who's being played by Vera Farmiga. Great casting. Like, these movies, these MonsterVerse movies have had some really good casting choices in there. So you see Millie Bobby Brown's character, she's making breakfast, burning the bacon, making the eggs and the toast, looking like a full English breakfast, if I might add. We get to see a bit of the dynamic between what's going on with like the father and like their relationship right now, and then we come to see that they're not actually in like a normal house. They're in this outpost by Monarch where they're living in the China rainforest. So we're actually seeing them waking up, building Mothra in there. So she's in the cocoon, they're trying to wake her up. Obviously shit hits a fan once again, as it always does with these titans, and so as it's trying to escape, Vera, whose name in the movie is called Emma, she uses this briefcase we understand is called the Okra, where it uses these sound pulsing frequencies to try and calm this creature down. So Emma and Millie Bobby Brown's character, they're able to use it to calm the Mothra down, giving Millie Bobby Brown's character a chance to put her hand on it. And I'm noticing this pattern. So they did it in the Godzilla movie, they did it in Skull Kong Island, and now in this one, every human character gets a chance to put their hand on the head of these titans. Millie Bobby Brown gets the chance this time until an explosion happens where these terrorists come in, shooting up all the doctors and scientists, taking Millie Bobby Brown and Emma as hostages. And that's where we move to the dad's, the father character. So he gets recruited, or gets informed about this by Dr. Serizawa, who returns from the Godzilla movie along with the colleague, the person that was also in the previous movie, along with this interesting character who I found quite amusing, played by Thomas Middleditch, I think that's how you pronounce it. Apologies if I butchered that name. So they're explaining to him how his wife and his daughter have been kidnapped by these terrorists. We're getting a bit of understanding in terms of like the backstory of like the titans, and that's the problem with the human characters in this movie. They're basically used to do a lot of exposition, a lot of lore dumping. Most of their scenes are just them sitting down and just telling you what's going on or what the situation is. Like before this, with Dr. Serizawa, he was having this meeting with the senators or whoever it was about Monarch being working with the government or not, and so it's just a lot of that throughout the movie until you get towards like the third act with the human character. So for them, they're kind of like the weakest point of the movie, but they're explaining that so far there's been 17 titans all around. These titans are pretty much emerging now, and so then we get switched to the mum and Millie Bobby Brown's character Maddie, her character in the movie. So they're in Antarctica, they're taken to this snow outpost where they're discovering this frozen titan, which they're calling it Monster Zero, but we know it as King Ghidorah here. So they're trying to defrost this monster, this titan. While that's going on, meanwhile. You then get the Monarch people who are tracking, looking for the mum and the daughter. We actually get to see a great sequence with Godzilla trying to intimidate their submarine, their outpost, and you just get this great shot of Godzilla moving in, using his eyes, looking at the outpost. But we actually understand that Godzilla is actually looking for the outpost in Antarctica because he's sensing something there. So he's actually making his way to Antarctica. That's how they figure that out. So they're on their way to Antarctica. So once they arrive, you get this big shootout sequence in there. You get Emma, who we come to find out is actually working with these terrorists. She unleashes King Ghidorah, and her reasoning and stuff like that I'll get into in just a second, because as King Ghidorah gets released, destruction and chaos is caused. The base is destroyed. As King Ghidorah gets unleashed, the terrorists are able to fly off into the plane. King Ghidorah looks like he's about to kill everybody that's in the Monarch, like the characters that we're following, like Dr. Sarah, the dad, the general, like these kind of people, until Godzilla shows up and we get our first battle between Godzilla and King Ghidorah, looking absolutely amazing. Like the fight sequences in this movie honestly really hold up to this day and does look absolutely visually stunning with these characters. But Godzilla is getting his ass kicked by King Ghidorah. It's like 3 heads. They're beating the crap out of Godzilla. Ghidorah actually kills a colleague, Dr. Serizawa's colleague from Godzilla movie, and in this movie she ends up getting killed. She gets eaten by one of the heads, and then the military arrive and they start shooting King Ghidorah, which allows him to escape. But Godzilla takes a big beating with this sequence. So then when it comes to like the human characters, so again, another sitting, like sort of having a FaceTime meeting. The mum, Emma, is basically explaining that the reason she's working with these terrorists is because she wants to release a lot of Titans so that they can use their energy, their radiation, to restore the planet. So destroying hundreds of civilizations, hundreds of people, billions of people, so that they can then restore and rebalance the world. Basically doing a Thanos in the movie. And I'll be honest, like, I get that this is the reason how they're going to have all the Titans come out, but I feel like they could have done something really different with it. Like like I said, the human element kind of just wasn't there for me, and that's what made the movie a slightly weaker in my opinion, because all I want was the Titans and the fight sequences. And this with this plot as too, it just felt like it just could have landed a lot better for me. But then with her explaining all of that, she then releases another Titan, Rodan, in Mexico, which is like this eagle titan looking thing, and it releases it in Mexico, causing destruction in Mexico. So what Monarch and the military do is they try to lure Rodan into the oceans, because Rodan and Ghidorah start fighting. Rodan throughout the whole movie just gets his ass handed to him. He gets beaten up by Ghidorah in this. They try to use this hydrogen bomb thingy that the military created to try and destroy them. Godzilla's arriving to try and beat up Ghidorah once again, but then this bomb gets dropped and just destroys, or we think that it destroys, all the Titans there. Ghidorah seems to have survived, but then we're getting this impression that Godzilla has died because we're not getting a heartbeat. But we do find out later on that he actually goes to Hollow Earth because he's trying to heal himself. But Ghidorah also survives, along with Rodan, who survives every single battle he's in seemingly. But with this, Ghidorah now unleashes all the Titans. So basically the whole point of Emma's character joining the terrorists is to release all the Titans, only for Ghidorah to do that himself. So you've literally got Titans everywhere, and I feel like it's not really mentioned in the later movies, but every country seems like destruction, chaos. Every Titan is just causing destruction in whatever country or city they're in. And it's not really mentioned afterwards when it comes to this. They're focusing on the San Francisco and Godzilla 2014, but not really in terms of this one. But I'm just sidetracking when it comes to that. So yeah, all the Titans have now been released by Ghidorah. And so then you've got the human characters, because like I mentioned, the human characters are kind of the portion that you're forgetting, because in between like these whole battle sequences, you then get the exposition dumping of how they figured out going from Monster Zero to King Ghidorah. You've got Millie Bobby Brown's character disowning her mum and taking the orca and escaping so that she can lure all the Titans. You've got the human characters in Monarch trying to figure out how to beat these Titans. One minute they want to kill Godzilla, the next minute they feel bad about it. So it's just a lot of that kind of aspect with the human characters. Mothra, however, from the China outpost, ends up coming out of the cocoon. You get this amazing shot of like the Mothra's wings. Mothra actually goes to the Monarch people to let them know where, like, that Godzilla is alive, where Godzilla is, because he's in Hollow Earth, basically recuperating, healing. And that's where you get probably my favorite part for the human characters. So these characters, some of the characters like the dad, Dr. Serizawa, amongst other scientists and military people, they take the submarine down to the sea, go through to Hollow Earth. After taking some damage, Dr. Serizawa takes a little ship to Godzilla to try and send some nukes to heal Godzilla, because right now Godzilla's healing, but that could take years for him to fully restore. So they're going to try and jumpstart that. And then you get this great sequence with Dr. Serizawa going there, having Godzilla look into his eyes, and just a great sequence of Serizawa sacrificing himself to heal Godzilla much quicker. That probably for me was my favorite part of the human aspect when it comes to this movie. Such an amazing sequence of events there. And so Godzilla is now some jacked up, recharged, huge titan ready to kick some ass. So then that's where you get the third act. So now you've got Millie Bobby Brown's character who goes to this stadium in Boston, I think it was, where she's using the Orca. Ghidorah arrives to the scene, starts trying to attack Millie Bobby Brown's character, and that's where you've got Godzilla and the military all side by side working together to go take on Ghidorah, and that's where you get the big battle, the third act fight sequence between Godzilla and Ghidorah. Again, an amazing fight sequence between the two of them. But one thing is, at first they do focus on like the human's point of view as they're looking for Millie Bobby Brown's character, where the Titans are fighting in the background. But once they do focus on it, you then got Mothra joining in, you've got Rodan joining in, so this like tag team, tornado tag team match happening here. Mothra's able to kick Rodan's ass once again. It looks like he gets killed off, but he's actually surviving. Godzilla's using his atomic breath on Ghidorah, but Godzilla is getting his ass kicked by Ghidorah. Ghidorah actually picks him up, flies him all the way into space, and then just drops him. Huge collision right on the floor. The human characters, they find Millie Bobby Brown, like the mum and the dad reunite. They find Millie Bobby Brown's character. So you get some comedic lines in there thrown by one of the soldiers. But the mum, what she does is that she takes the Orca, she takes a briefcase, she starts running and distracting Ghidorah while the others are able to escape. So she's doing another sacrifice. So everybody seems to be sacrificing themselves in this movie. So the mum sacrifices herself to allow her family to escape. Meanwhile, Mothra, as Godzilla is down, Mothra is also sacrificing herself to attack Ghidorah by also releasing some energy towards Godzilla. So you've got the mum's dead, Mothra's dead, Rodan is injured somewhere, Godzilla is down, King Ghidorah looks like he's standing on top. But then that's where you've got Godzilla just literally lighting himself up like he's got lava inside him, jacked up, and he just unleashes on Ghidorah using his atomic breath to just vaporize Ghidorah, killing off all three heads, even one head just like stuck, and he just vaporizes it. Absolutely gruesome but amazing sequence there. So you've got Godzilla killing off Ghidorah, and that's where all the Titans arrive, like Rodan. You've got other Titans there, they're bowing to Godzilla, who has officially been declaring himself the king of all monsters, the king of Titans. Ending the movie when you've got the post-credit scene of like the main terrorist person who throughout the movie didn't really feel like a threat, but in the post-credit scene he's actually buying one of the Ghidorah heads, which we come to find out later what's used in the Godzilla vs. Kong movie, but pretty much ending the movie. So yeah, there's definitely some flaws to be had, especially with the human characters, but overall with the movie, it's an enjoyable time. I really had a blast with this movie. I had a fun time watching these Titans beat the crap out of each other, Godzilla going absolute ham towards the end. So there's definitely a lot of enjoyment. So again, if you've seen the movie, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you enjoy it? Have you seen it? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below, and keep an eye out on the channel because we're going to be doing the next movie in the franchise, Godzilla vs. Kong, the movie that should have come out but got delayed due to COVID. We're going to be checking it out, we're going to be reviewing it, so that's coming out tomorrow. So keep an eye out on that as we're building up to Godzilla x Kong. But thank you all so much for watching, thank you so much for listening. This is YK Reviews. Peace.